What if you were so good at video editing that the next video you make literally forces people to watch it until the end without them even realizing it? As a full-time video editor and filmmaker, I have watched thousands and thousands of hours worth of video over the last 10 years. In all the great movies, commercials, reels, and YouTube videos that I've seen, I've noticed editing techniques that they all have in common. If you started implementing these things today into your editing, imagine the potential your videos could have. Of course, I'm talking to video editors, but these concepts are way more broad than you might think. So I believe there are two main things that editors are constantly thinking about when they're behind that screen creating these engaging and powerful videos. One, great storytelling. Story. How do you tell a great story? That's a loaded question. You could easily listen to someone talk about this for hours and hours, but let's break it down into three main things. Question and answer, problem and solution, foreshadowing, and payoff. Viewers always want a payoff, and it's your responsibility as an editor to give them that payoff. In editing, I'm presenting a question, and I'm going to give you an answer, at least what I believe is the best answer. The story drives everything. Before you get into the details of the edit, understand the broader story you're trying to tell. Make sure every element you add or take away has a purpose that fits into the overall narrative. If it doesn't, leave it out. 2, pacing. So I could talk forever about pacing, but to sum it up very quickly, the particular pacing that you choose tells the viewer how they should feel. Under pacing, I would say one of the most important editing techniques is building suspense and releasing it. This is kind of like my bread and butter. I build up to a moment and I release it. So there's so many different ways you can do this. What I found to be the most useful is fast cuts leading up to a climactic moment and then a release. And the release is usually a longer shot with less cuts, a slower segment. Let's talk about sound design. Build audio around the story. Always go back to the story and the overall narrative of the video when choosing what music or sounds to include. It's important to know that as an editor, it's your job to tell the viewer how they should be feeling in a given moment. Music can dramatically change the way a moment feels. Make sure the mood of the song matches the tone of the segment. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule. I've seen editors break this rule very tastefully by choosing a song that doesn't necessarily match the segment, but I think in the end it was a good creative choice because it enhanced that moment and made it feel unique. Sound design is there to enhance the experience, not to be used as a crutch. So when you're thinking about music and cuts, try making your cuts in the video on the downbeats of the song. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule. Sometimes I think it can be more creative to not cut on beat, but to instead cut off beat or cut at random times. Volvo, the car company, put out a commercial that I believe does all of these things super well. So right after this video, I want you to go watch it and take note of the things that I'm talking about. So next time you go to edit a video, think about these things and apply this to your own creative style and see what you can make.